Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, FPL Consult here, and today we're going to take a look at my Game Week 4 team selection. So in this video, we're going to go through how I did for Game Week 3, talk a little bit about my transfer plans for Game Week 4, which I've more or less confirmed the move that I want to make, and thereafter look at how the team is shaping up for Game Week 4. So if you guys do enjoy this video, please give it a like and also subscribe as well if you are new around here. So very quickly, how did I do for Game Week 3? It wasn't a great game week, but it wasn't a bad game week at all as well. I got 51 points. Now, I'm sure a lot of people scored a lot higher than me. Some also scored lower than me. So the average was 44 points for this game week. So as usual, the plan is still to always just try and get a little bit more than the average. So this week was still a success in that department. I got a green arrow to 476k, but that's just a really small green arrow. And honestly, at this point in time, the ranks don't really matter because we are all so bunched up together that, you know, a couple of points can make a difference between a couple of 100,000 places. So don't really, I don't really put too much weight to that at this point in time. I'm more focused on my team and how it's looking like. So let's take a look at the number of points I got for Game Week 3. 51 points. Onana got 0 points. So he's definitely someone that I think is a little bit of a worry for me, because I don't think that Manchester United are going to keep a lot of clean sheets moving forward. Luke Shaw's injured, Rafa Varane is also injured, so their defense is going through a little bit of a shake-up, and it's not really very positive the way it's looking for Manchester United's defense. But I will have to hope that Onana pulls some good saves, especially next week against Arsenal, because I'm not going to spend a keeper transfer. I just don't think it's worth it at all. Right, and then in defense, there's Estupiñán, Colwell, and Chilwell. Now, of course, Estupiñán, 1 pointer against West Ham, but I do think like he is someone that I may still want to keep, as I'll explain later on. I think he rotates very well with the player that I'm bringing in to replace Gabriel basically on the bench. So in general, I'll still keep him so that I can have him for that Bournemouth at home game in game week 6. Right, so that's for Estupiñán. I think there is cause to think about, for those of you guys who have extra moves, to think about whether you want to sell Estupiñán. I'm not against it at all, but for my own team, I think I'll just have him on the bench for this tough run and then swap him in when he has good fixtures. So that's the plan for Estupiñán for me. Colwell and Chilwell, 6 points each. Kept a clean sheet against Luton Town, and of course Malo Gusto is the one that did really well with 14 points. But as I've said, Malo Gusto is someone that I think you should have transferred in last week if you wanted to. This week I think it's too late because Reece James will be coming back soon and he's going to be an issue thereafter. So I'm pretty happy that I have Colwell because he's not going to be an issue for me moving forward. Yes, he picked up a knock yesterday, but Pochettino did confirm that he'll be fine for the weekend. So I'll wait to see if he's fit for the weekend. If not, as I mentioned just now, Estupiñán will just be on my bench. I can just put Estupiñán into the starting 11. So there we go with the defenders. For the midfield, there's Saka, Mbeumo, Foden, Rashford, and Eze. Now, Mbeumo and Eze both blanked, but Saka, of course, scored that penalty, so it's good to know that he's still on penalties, at least still first choice, and then maybe once in a while, Odegaard will take the penalty, right? And then for Foden, of course, he didn't start the game at all. He came on for the last couple of minutes and then got an assist for Rodri's winner. So that one was pretty lucky. I hold my hands up and admit that one was lucky. 4 points there, and it kind of saved my game week as well, because if not, I'd be on 40 something points, which kind of saw me on a red arrow as well. Alright, so Foden, 4-pointer. Rashford, 2 assists, 7 points as well. The thing with Rashford is there is a consideration whether I want to move to Bruno Fernandes. I actually am coming around to the idea that that may not be such a sideways move because of the number of chances that Bruno is creating, as well as him being on penalties and 0.5 million cheaper. Alright, so that's something I also am considering, but for the moment, for this game week, I think I'll just stick with Marcus Rashford. Up front, Erling Haaland and Jackson, 8 points for Haaland. He missed a penalty, but at least he nodded in Grealish's cross. So 8 points for him, and of course Jackson, 7-pointer because he scored against Luton Town from Raheem Sterling's cross. Right, so there we go with my team for Game Week 3. Let's now take a look at what I intend to do with my players for Game Week 4. So my transfer for this week, I did think long and hard about this, whether I wanted to make a midfield transfer or whether I wanted to make a defensive transfer. And this game week, I've decided I'll take Gabriel out. I should have taken him out for quite a while already, but as I mentioned, I've been keeping him on the bench because Levi Colwell can just come in for him. But I think now in game week 4, it's time to ship him out. I've already taken a couple of price drops for him at 0.2 million to be exact. So I have had enough of losing money from keeping Gabriel. And on top of that, I think Udogi is someone that rotates really well with Estupinian. It allows me to keep Estupinian on the bench, play Udogi, and then rotate both of them according to their fixture. So I do like it, and of course, Udogi really good for goal threat. Spurs fixtures are pretty decent for game week 4 and game week 5. From game week 6 and 7, they play Arsenal and they play Manchester United respectively. That's when Udogi will be on the bench and Estupinian will come into my team. And then from game week 8 and 9 onwards, Udogi's fixtures pick up again. Right, so that's the plan with Udogi. One free transfer used. I have so much money left in the bank after this move because, of course, Gabriel is more expensive than Udogi. So I have 3.6 million in the bank now. This would obviously fund Kieran Trippier moving forward in the next couple of game weeks as well. So let's now take a look at the team after I've made this transfer. So as I mentioned, not 100% locked in on this move yet because I'm going to wait for Levi Colwell's update just to be 100% sure that he's fine. But assuming he's fine and assuming I do make that Gabriel to Udogi move, this is how I would line up for game week 4. Again, with a 3-5-2 formation. Onana will be my starting keeper. Now, I'm just hoping that he'll get something against Arsenal away, maybe rack up some save points because I do expect Arsenal to run riot there at home at the Emirates against Manchester United, who look very shaky in defense, I'll admit that. Right, and then on the bench, I'll have Turner, who plays Chelsea away. So for the back three, I've gone for Udogi, Colwell, and Chilwell, and I've left Estupinian on the bench. Right, as I mentioned just now, Estupinian plays Newcastle at home. I don't really like the look of that. I do think like Newcastle will score a couple of goals against Brighton, who have been conceding a lot of chances from open play. Right, they are actually 14th in the league for expected goals conceded per 90. So even though they're scoring loads of goals, they're also conceding loads of chances. And of course, Estupinian, I don't expect him to get a lot of points against Newcastle at home. So he's on the bench. Udogi comes in, Burnley away. I do expect Tottenham to try and keep a clean sheet there. And of course, Udogi has goal threat as well as assist threat. Right, so he comes in. Colwell and Chilwell both have Nottingham Forest at home. Now, of course, there's the threat of Taiwo, Ewoniyi, but I do hope that the Chelsea boys can pull through again and keep a clean sheet for me this week. To be fair, they have been on a decent run. I do like that the win in the EFL Cup coupled with the win over the weekend against Luton Town has kind of put them on a little bit of a winning momentum, and I do hope they continue that against Nottingham Forest at home. I do hope as well that Chilwell will continue to take along and get attacking returns as well, because he should have scored he had a great chance last week against Luton Town to score, but he chose to pass it off as well. Right, so if he does convert his chances, he's always someone that can be in the regions of a double-digit haul there. And then in midfield, there's Saka, Mbeumo, Foden, Rashford, and Eze. Now, all of them have very, very decent fixtures, aside from the fact that Arsenal and Manchester United are playing each other. But from Saka's perspective, I actually think Manchester United at home is a great fixture for him. Manchester United, as I mentioned, are very leaky in defense, so I do expect Saka to get something. As for Rashford, I still like the look of him on the left-hand side. I think he plays better and he just performs at a different level when he's coming off on the left instead of playing centre forward. So I'll give him a couple more weeks and see how he performs against Arsenal away. But aside from that, Mbeumo, Foden, and Eze all have great fixtures. Apologies for the typo for Foden. It's actually Fulham at home, but in general, Bournemouth at home, Fulham at home, Wolves at home are all fixtures that can be targeted for all these players. So Mbeumo, Foden, and Eze, I am expecting big things from them. As for Eze, he hasn't been returning much, and I think a lot of people are coming around to the idea that Crystal Palace's fixtures are starting to look up and they want to jump on Eze. But as an Eze owner from game week 1, I think I want to see more from him. If not, I think he may be someone that I should look to ship out soon. Right, so I am hoping for big things from Eze as well. Keep a lookout for him this game week. And then up front, of course, Haaland captain against Fulham at home, and Jackson, who also plays Nottingham Forest at home. So on the bench, as I mentioned, Estupinian first on the bench, Osula as well, 4.5 million forward, who may drop to the bench after Archer is coming in for Sheffield United now. So I'll just have him on the bench. He may be someone that I need to address moving forward, but let's see. And then Kabore last on the bench playing West Ham at home. So this is my team for Game Week 4. Let me know what you guys are doing with your teams. What transfer moves are you making? And am I missing any transfers that I can potentially consider before confirming my transfers on the Game Week 4 deadline stream? But for now, thank you guys for watching to this point. And before we end the video, let's talk a little bit about Pooky. So for those of you new to Pooky, Pooky is a free-to-play football predictions game that is as simple as you predicting the results and outcomes of matches and thereafter getting rewarded for it. So for match day 3, which is essentially game week 3 of the English Premier League, this is how I did. I got Chelsea versus Luton Town spot on, so a lot of points there for me. And for the other games, even though I didn't get any of the predictions 100% spot on, I did get most of the outcomes correct, and therefore I also got rewarded for points. And based on my performance, I was ranked 151st out of 500 players, 513 players to be exact. And based on that, of course, I was rewarded accordingly. So 151 puts me in this bracket of 139 to 262. And this is my rewards above me. So it's really, really simple. It's as simple as that. So for game week 4, these are the predictions that I'm going to be making for all the 10 matches. So I've already loaded 7 of my predictions into this Pooky website. And basically, there's three matches left that I haven't predicted. So let's take a look at these 3 matches now. So Chelsea versus Nottingham Forest. I'm obviously going to favor Chelsea here. And I'm going to go for a 2-0 win for Chelsea. Right? I think it is conservative enough, yet I do feel like Chelsea will do well in this game. So 2-0 for Chelsea. For Burnley and Tottenham, I actually do favour Tottenham as well. So I'm going to give them a 2-0 win as well. I do think Burnley will find it difficult to score against Tottenham. Hopefully Udogie keeps a clean sheet, of course. And then Man City versus Fulham, obviously going to favour Man City here. I'm actually going to go pretty heavy on Man City. I'm going to go 3-0 on Man City against Fulham. Right, so it's as simple as that. I've already loaded my predictions for all the other matches. So 10 out of 10 matches predicted. And it's simple as that. Right, so once you've loaded in your predictions, Pooky will calculate your score for you and then reward you after the end of the game week. So it's as simple as that. If you guys do want to try it out, there's a link in the description. You can try out the free-to-play basic league where there are games that you can try your hand at, and if you do like it and you want to play in the bigger leagues, you can of course consider buying a Pooky ball and thereafter getting access to the bigger leagues as well. So if you guys are interested, check out the link in the description and add me as a rival. But for now, thank you guys for watching to this point, and I'll catch you guys in more game week 4 content very soon. Bye bye.